In ordinary life, in ordinary situations, whenever we want to learn anything, whenever we want to advance in anything, whenever we want to achieve anything, we must have someone to show us. We must have someone to guide us. We must have someone to lead us the way. If we respect that person, if we talk nicely and we are polite, faces you, you will not be overwhelmed by the praise. You will not be devastated by the criticism. One will proceed, one will learn very fast, faster than someone else who fights back, who shows no respect, who doesn't listen, who do opposite of the teacher. In an ordinary life, for ordinary ways, in your ordinary situations, one must have a teacher. In fact, everything we have learned is because of our teachers, whether the teacher was our parents, at school, an uncle, etc. We have had to have a teacher in order to learn to get to our place now. Now, that is for ordinary life, which is for 60, 70, 80 years. Now, for spiritual life, which you want enlightenment, where the roads, the direction, the way, the method is much, much, much more complicated, much, much more difficult, much, much more longer, and even dangerous at times. How can one achieve this without a teacher? How can one achieve this without a spiritual guide? How can one achieve this without a sifu? There's no way one can achieve it without a sifu. One can read. There are many things that you won't understand. One can meditate. What does one meditate on? Without the teacher, one cannot expand. One cannot grow. One cannot ever get past or get any kind of results. Then, for example, in this fortunate aeon, 1,000 Buddhas will appear. The fourth Buddha was Shakyamuni. Before that, there were 3 Buddhas. Prakumchanda, the first one, Kanakamuni, and Kashyapa. 3 Buddhas. The fourth was Shakyamuni. Even after Shakyamuni, so many superior Buddhas and Bodhisattvas appeared. Manjushri, Guanyin Posa appeared to teach, to manifest. So many great saints and masters in China and Tibet and Mongolia. All over the world, Jesus Christ, so many have appeared in the world to teach. We have never ever been able to attend their teachings. We have never ever had the fortune to listen to their teachings, and therefore to be subdued by them, to be tamed by them, and therefore even to practice what they have taught. We have never had that opportunity. We, at our stage, in this point of our lives, will probably never see the Buddha. It doesn't mean the Buddha doesn't exist. We do not have the karmic affinity, and the karma is very strong, too strong, the negative karma, in order for us to see an enlightened being. So, how can we actually get the Dharma if we cannot get the Buddha to teach? In order for wood or tinder to catch fire from the sun, we need a magnifying glass. That sun is like the Buddha, the magnifying glass is like your guru, and the tinder or the wood is like yourself. In order for that tinder or that wood to catch fire, you need to concentrate the rays of the sun, the heat of the sun, through the magnifying glass to catch fire. The magnifying glass is like your guru, the tinder is like yourself, and the sun is like the Buddha. It works in this kind of way. Otherwise, you stick the tinder or the wood right onto the sun, it's never going to catch fire. Never ever going to catch fire. Geshe Potawa said that the guru is like someone who gives a dying person food during a famine, while the Buddhas are like those who give slabs of meat in times of plenty. Suppose we had escaped poverty and having become rich, someone then gave us food and property. Similarly, we will have visions of many Buddhas, receive inspirations from them, and so on, when we have already reached higher paths, but this is no help to us while we are in our present piteous state. In our present piteous state, pitiful state, where we can't see the Buddhas, we cannot receive their teachings and hear from them, who is the one that is compassionate enough to teach us? Who is the one that is compassionate enough to give us guidance and to help us, to put up with our delusions, to put up with our anger, to put up with our complaints, to put up with our childish problems, to listen to us, to guide us, to patiently teach us, all day into the night, free of charge, no expectations. Who is the one that actually teaches you? During famine, when someone gives you food, when you're poor, when someone gives you a little bit of money, and because of that, you start a business, you became very wealthy. After that, you get many patrons, you get many rich people, many people come to your shop, many people do business to you. Who is more kinder to you? The rich patrons, the high patrons, the aristocratic people that come afterwards, or that single simple person who helped you in the beginning? That single simple person is like your guru, whereas the Buddhas are like the patrons that come later on. You can only see the Buddhas by practice. The practice can come only by your teacher. Without your teacher's blessings, without your teacher's practice, without your teacher's instructions and giving you the Dharma, how will you ever reach a state that you can actually see the Buddhas? How can you reach a state where you actually can perceive and listen to the Buddhas directly? Think about yourselves how you were before you met your gurus, before you met your teachers. You were no different from the wild animals, tigers, leopards living in the forest, except that our body was called a human body. I see the last life in that way, no joking. Before we met our guru, we were like animals, only thinking of our own needs, having enough to drink and eat and sleep. Now we can check the difference after we have met our gurus. We can check the progress in our lives, in our minds, in our motivation, in our thinking. How much Dharma understanding do we have now? That is how much freedom we have to practice. We have the opportunity to practice from our side. There's that much freedom. It is important to compare this present with the past ways. How were we before we met our teachers? How were we thinking? What were we focused on? What did we have aims in life? We were no different than any wild animals who eat, drink, sleep, mate. After we have met our teachers, after we have received the Dharma from our teachers, not the Buddha, how did your mind change? How did you realize your mistakes? And did the Guru teach you how to make money or teach you how to leave samsara, period? If he has taught you how to make money, it is something very small. If he has taught you or she has taught you Dharma, she or he has given you the method to get out of your sufferings 100% completely. How were you before you met your gurus? How empty was your life? How purposeless was your work? How fruitless was your existence? How anxiety-filled were you coming closer and closer to death? Since you have met your gurus, have your actions changed? Have your thinking changed? Have you seen life on a higher spectrum? Have you seen existence in a different light? Who brought that to you? Who changed that for you? It was your guru. It was your teacher. It was the one that gave you Dharma. And it was not in a worldly way where they expect things, want things, expect payment or want things from you. They gave it out of the motivation that you may be free, out of compassion. How kind is that person? How can we ever pay that person back even if we give over our house, our fortune, our cars, millions of dollars? How do we pay that person back? Does enlightenment have a price tag? Is there a limited worth on enlightenment, or is it limitless, the worth? You will never ever be able to pay back the kindness that your guru has given you. Never. Your guru has taught you reality, has taught you the nature of suffering, has taught you the methods to get out of suffering, has blessed you and prayed for you and wished for you to get out of suffering without any expectations. How were you before this? How did you act, think, and what did you do before this? How much have you changed, even with one session of Dharma you have received from your guru? How can you ever pay this person back? How? And how do we pay our gurus back? Do we pay them back by giving them money? Do we pay them back by being stingy? Do we pay them back by showing them disrespect? Do we pay them back by showing them wrong actions? Do we pay them back by talking uselessly, senselessly, asking them ridiculous, worldly questions about money, finance, and relationships? How did we repay our guru back? Do you think your guru wants money, respect, name, and fame from you? If you think that, it is a wrong guru. It's a wrong thinking. If the guru is like that, it is not a guru. Your guru expects payment back in the form of practice, in the form of true Dharma practice. This is the only way you can ever even attempt to pay your teacher back. You can even attempt, not pay him back, but attempt. He teaches you on the basis of compassion. He teaches you on the basis of reality. He has spent time studying. He has spent time free. He has given up his pleasures, his worldly pursuits. He has given up all anxieties for money, for position, for status, in order he can study Dharma, practice it, and convey it to you to change your lives. How can we pay someone back who has given us that? How? How will you ever even get near enlightenment or hear about karma, hear about Buddha's teachings without the Guru teaching you? How? You will never ever be able to see the Buddha. you will never ever be able to perceive the Buddha. Even if you open up the Dharma book, you will understand 10-15%. You will not even have the time, the energy to read and study and meditate over and over. How will you get this without the Guru? How are you now before you have met your teacher? How were you before you have met the teacher? Think about that.